Welcome to the deep dive. So, you're probably curious about medicinal mushrooms, right? Big history there, especially in Asia.
Absolutely. Centuries of use. And people now really want to understand them better for, wellness.
Yeah, and quickly. We know you want the solid info without wading through everything. So, this deep dive, it's your shortcut.
We're focusing on how to actually get the benefits
Yeah,
because it's not always straightforward.
exactly. The big hurdle. These amazing compounds are often locked inside tough cell walls made of chitin.
Right, kicked in. Our digestion doesn't handle it well, so just eating them raw often doesn't cut it.
So, our mission today, evidence-based ways to boost absorption from the big ones: reishi, lion's mane, chaga, cordyceps, and shiitake.
Okay, so let's quickly touch on what makes each special. Reishi, think immune support, stress reduction, beta-glucans, tritrophin,
Lion's mane.
yeah.
That's the brain booster, yeah.
Harricinones, arenosines.
Precisely. Chaga is loaded with antioxidants, polysaccharides, betulin, cordyceps for energy, cordycepin, adenosine, and shiitake.
Immune and heart health, right? Beta-glucans again and aritidenine.
Exactly. You see some overlap, like the beta-glucans, but also unique compounds dictating, well, how we should prepare them.
So back to that raw question, definitely not ideal then.
Generally, no. Besides the chitin, raw reishi is literally like wood tough on the teeth. And raw shiitake can cause shiitake dermatitis, a rash.
Oh, wow. Cooking helps with the rash.
Yeah, heating it above about 266 Fahrenheit or 130 Celsius neutralizes that risk. So cooking is safer anyway.
Okay, so extraction is key. Let's start simple. Hot water, like making a tea or decoction.
Mm-hmm. That's the traditional way. And it's great for pulling out water-soluble polysaccharides, those beta-glucans we mentioned.
How's it done? Just boil them.
Not quite boiling. You want a gentle simmer, maybe 70, 80 Celsius, so around 160, 175 Fahrenheit. Simmering dried mushrooms, chunks, or powder for, well, it varies.
Like how long?
Depends. Reishi or chaga might simmer for hours, maybe even overnight in a slow cooker. Cordyceps might be quicker, say 15 to 45 minutes. Okay, so hot water gets the water-loving compounds. But what about the others? The ones that don't dissolve in water.
That's where alcohol comes in, alcohol extraction or tincturing.
Right. Alcohol's a solvent, too.
Exactly. It can dissolve nonpolar compounds, things like triterpenoids in reishi, or the harricinones and arenosines in lion's mane, cordycepin and cordyceps. Plus, alcohol helps break down that chitin.
How do you make a tincture?
You soak the dried, ground-up mushroom
Yeah.
in alcohol, usually fairly strong, like 40% to 95% alcohol, which is 80 to 190 proof.
For how long?
Typically weeks, maybe 4 to 6 weeks is ideal. Keep it in a dark place, shake it regularly.
Okay, so that pulls out a different set of compounds. What if a mushroom has important stuff in both categories?
Ah, great question. That leads us to dual extraction.
Combining both methods.
Exactly. You get the water-soluble compounds and the alcohol-soluble ones. It aims for a full-spectrum extract, often seen as the best approach for mushrooms like reishi and chaga,
How does that work? Do you do them at the same time?
usually sequentially. You do the hot water extraction first. Then you take the mushroom solids left over from that process and soak them in alcohol.
I see. Then combine the liquids.
Right. Combine the water extract and the alcohol extract. Doing water first might help protect those beta-glucans from the alcohol.
Interesting. So that seems pretty thorough for bioavailability.
It really is for capturing the widest range of compounds.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Whole mushrooms versus these extracts we're talking about. Pros and cons.
Well, extracts give you a concentrated, often standardized dose of the specific medicinal compounds, more predictable. Whole dried mushrooms have nutritional value, fiber, minerals. But the absorption of those key medicinal compounds without specific extraction might be lower, less reliable.
And watch out for extracts made mostly from mycelium grown on grain.
Yeah, that's a point of discussion. Some products might contain a lot of the grain substrate, potentially diluting the actual mushroom compounds. Quality sourcing matters.
What about when you take them? Or powder, capsule, liquid?
There's not a ton of solid data on timing. One source suggests shiitake between meals. Liquids might absorb slightly faster, sublingually maybe. Capsules are convenient, powder is versatile, but honestly, the extraction method used to make the product is far more important than whether it's a capsule or liquid at the end. And consistency seems key, especially for things like reishi, taking it regularly.
Okay, super important topic. Dosage and potential interactions. This is critical.
Absolutely vital. Dosage recommendations can vary wildly. Always start low and follow the product label. Never assume more is better.
And interactions. Any major flags?
Yes. Some mushrooms, like reishi, chaga, and cordyceps, might increase bleeding risks, so caution if you're on blood thinners. Immune stimulation is another reishi, cordyceps shiitake. Care is needed with autoimmune conditions or immunosuppressants. Chaga and cordyceps could potentially lower blood sugar or blood pressure. There could be interactions with chemotherapy, reishi, turkey tail, shiitake are sometimes used alongside chemo, but only under medical supervision. Specific things too, like chaga's high oxalate content or potential birch allergy link.
Wow. Okay. So the take home is,
Talk to your doctor. Seriously.
yeah,
Especially if you have any health conditions or take any medications, it's just crucial for safety. Don't self-treat serious conditions.
absolutely. Primum non nocere. First, do no harm.
Okay, let's wrap this up. What's the core message from this deep dive?
It really boils down to understanding what's in the mushroom you're interested in and matching the preparation method, water, alcohol, or both, to those compounds. Dual extraction often gives the broadest coverage.
So now you've got that shortcut to understanding extraction. Think about your own health goals. How could choosing the right mushroom and the right preparation method, knowing about compound solubility, become a smarter part of your wellness plan? What other questions pop up for you now about using these incredible fungi?